Hey everybody, welcome to Fun Facts. If you are seeking information, you are at the right place. Today, we're going to go over the most amazing top 10 facts about Red Dead Online. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most amazing facts you will ever see. A lengthy development. When any video game is released, it took hours to create, and it's easy to forget about that when getting excited about playing it. Red Dead Redemption was one of those games that took an incredibly long time to make, mainly due to the detail and size of the map. But it took so long that it started to become a risk for Rockstar. The game took over half a decade to develop, which is an exceedingly long period of time, and Rockstar worried that it wasn't going to be worthwhile. But thankfully, the aftermath proved it certainly was. Using a stunt horse. Even if you have never played either Red Dead Redemption game, it's clear that horses play a major role, and to ensure that the movements were as realistic as possible, the creators went above and beyond. The team actually motion captured a stunt horse, which isn't the easiest thing to do, as they managed to record as many possible movements, although this brought with it plenty of problems. Creating the skeletal and muscular system was a problem for them, which actually took several years to get over, but if you have played the game, then you know they did a great job. Clint Eastwood's near involvement. The voice of the character, John Marston, is an iconic one in video games, and Rob Whitehoff's work is unforgettable. However, despite how natural Whitehoff seems in the role, he wasn't actually Rockstar's initial choice to do the job, as the company originally hunted down several big-name celebrity actors instead. The major name considered for the role was none other than Clint Eastwood, which makes sense given his history with the Western genre. A commercial hit. It is well known that Red Dead Redemption was a huge hit amongst gamers, with the game selling incredibly well around the world, but not even Rockstar themselves expected it to end up being as popular as it became. The game ended up selling over 15 million copies, which was obviously deemed to be an incredible success, with the game going on to become a modern-day classic that people still play today. However, if you thought that was an impressive figure, its sequel managed to destroy that by outselling the original just 12 days after being released. Unused wanted posters. When creating a game as detailed as Red Dead Redemption, a lot of ideas are thought up, created, and put into the game, but of course, there are also a lot of ideas that end up being left on the table. Within the game, there are wanted posters all over the place for various characters, which really adds to the whole design and Western feel, with some being storyline driven and others simply being for set design purposes. However, Rockstar actually created that many posters that there were loads that ended up being unused, so who knows, maybe they ended up being squeezed into the sequel. Slaying Bigfoot. The only way you would be able to explore and enjoy this fun game is if you got the Undead Nightmare DLC for the game, but if you did, then you may have tracked down and killed Bigfoot itself. That's right, the huge creature can be found within Red Dead Redemption for those willing to search for him, which is actually a callback to GTA San Andreas, with Bigfoot rumors taking place in that game. Of course, when you do stumble across the mythical creature, it isn't a simple kill. After all, this is Bigfoot, but if you're up for the challenge, it's a fun hunt. The elegant suit. In Red Dead Redemption, the elegant suit is possibly the most iconic look in the entire game, and it is something people will be very familiar with, as it is needed in order for you to 100% complete the game. The suit is something that everyone is well aware of, but interestingly, the game originally was going to have this iconic piece of clothing look much different, with the hat not being part of it. While it wouldn't have made any real difference to the game, it's still interesting to know that it almost wasn't considered at all. Red Dead Redemption is a spiritual successor. A lot of people are under the impression that Red Dead Redemption is the first game in the series, and at its time of release was a simple standalone game that had been created as something totally new. However, the reality was that Redemption was actually a spiritual successor of the 2004 video game, Red Dead Revolver, with the main objective being to scale up the game to reach Rockstar's high standard. It did take on many ideas from that original game as well, focusing on the shooting mechanic and making sure the weapons from the game were inspired by real weapons. It was originally in development with Capcom. When you think about how much money the Red Dead Redemption series has likely made for Rockstar, it is crazy to think that things originally began with Capcom instead, with Red Dead Revolver starting its life with the company. Due to creative differences with Angel Studios, Capcom ended up cancelling the game, and there was a time when the world was almost never introduced to the Red Dead world, which is a strange thought considering its success. Thankfully, this is where Rockstar stepped in as the recent owner of Angel Studios. One of the Angel Studios came across the game, and the company decided to buy the rights. South Korean version. You would think that a video game as popular and impactful as Red Dead Redemption would have been localized all around the world, with the voice work being translated, or at the very least subtitles being available. However, that wasn't the case for this game in South Korea, with Rockstar not providing any voice changes or subtitles for the game, instead, providing a manual with translations for those who were interested in playing. Obviously, this made things almost impossible for anyone in the country to actually play the game, so it's fair to say Red Dead Redemption isn't a huge hit in the country. Subscribe and turn on notifications to get informed, so you don't miss more videos of the most amazing top 10 facts and much more. Check out this playlist for the most amazing top 10 videos, and remember guys, knowledge is power. With a P. Peace.